So you're the author of 3 books. What led you to wanting to write about these topics and specifically for the age groups that you have?
I was working with grieving kids, with children that had medical complex conditions. I worked in pediatric palliative and hospice care and would oftentimes use bibliotherapy. And that is the therapeutic use of books to help children develop new coping skills, help them see their story in someone else's story, and help them emotionally process what's going on with them. So if I wanted to use these books in my practice, the language had to be developmentally appropriate, concrete, avoid the use of euphemisms, and the illustrations had to, at the very bare minimum, not be scary. So you would think that those things would be easy to come by, but they were very hard. So eventually I wrote what became the first book, What Does Grief Feel Like? And the intention of all of my books is to be a resource and a tool for families to use in the home, but also so that clinicians could use it, so that school teachers and counselors and anybody that had a child in their life could use this as an opening. Oftentimes parents will come to me and ask, how do I start the conversation? What do I say? How do I answer their questions? And so there are questions embedded throughout the pages so that parents don't have to find the questions. And the other thing about my first book is at the time, there were no books about grief. There were books about death, and there were books in a very broad view about coping when someone died, but nothing that described what it is, used its name, talked about all the different ways it shows up, not just what we feel, but in our bodies too. So the second book that I wrote, It Won't Ever Be the Same, A Teen's Guide to Grief and Grieving, it has bite-sized information. So it gives facts and information, and it gives it in a way that these young people can relate to. What's happening? Why are my friends acting weird? Why can't I concentrate in school? And it helps provide tips and tools and strategies, and then opportunities for expression. And then the third book that just came out is a parenting book. It's meant to be almost like a field guide so that when a loss experience happens, you can just open up to that part, get the questions kids will ask, have scripts for what to say, bits of information for how to cope as a family.